Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion, hosted on the sportstuff.com. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podman, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Double Twist. Yeah. You're probably like, too much, Joey. And of course, I guess it's on Audible too. It's on everything. No, it's on a lot of different applications. Maybe certain ones it's not on. I don't know if it's on this or that. But let's just get to the point, though. The Minnesota Timberwolves played 3 games last week, and they went 1-2. Could be worse, right? As our old friend Nicholas Borbum, would say. Hopefully he's still listening. I was a listener for many years, and hopefully he still listens. Miss him a lot. Great friend. It's been years, man. So shout out to Nick Borbum out there, old classmate, Hopkins High School, 1998. With that said, the Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns is back. He was back, and then he missed the game because of it's back to back. They got to be careful, and it's the NBA. We all know how that goes. It's the NBA, but you know what? He actually came back pretty quickly, considering it's the NBA, and we know how I like to rant about that. Because guys, when they get hurt, it's like double time compared to other leagues. Again, like an ACL, the guy's out for like 18 months, not 6 months or 9 months. It's like 18. So there's stuff like that can kind of get under my skin sometimes. But that's the NBA. I said it again. Well, he came back, and it was a very entertaining game against the San Antonio Spurs last Saturday, the 9th. So we're talking about the 9th, the 10th, and the 13th. And again, it's kind of like a college hockey or whatever the heck you could describe it. Kind of like college hockey style, particularly in the Western Conference games, where you'll play multiple games in the same city. So both of them in Minneapolis when it came to the Spurs, and of course the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll be playing the Grizzlies again tonight. Cool as it is on Fox Sports North locally. The Timberwolves and Memphis Grizzlies are on TV right now. The replay of the 13th is flashing, and the Wolves played well for 3 quarters. They played well for 3 quarters, but of course we all know there's a 4th quarter. Let's get to the Spurs game first. Oh, come on. 125-122. What a well-played, fun, entertaining basketball game until it just wasn't, and the Spurs kind of tied it up, and the Wolves just kind of let it go, and then the 4th quarter, and then the overtime happened, and it didn't work out. DeMar DeRozan couldn't miss. It's driving me crazy. I mean, he was making everything. It was irritating. It is what it is. Anthony Edwards, double-digit game. Naz Reid, 16 points in 16 minutes. That's pretty good. 3 blocks. That's one of the best games you'll see out of Naz Reid. If he could do that every night, ooh-wee. Maybe not even the 16 points. How about like 9, and then like 2 or 3 blocks? Oh, man, that'd be nice. Karl Anthony Towns added 3 blocks as well. Kevin Garnett type of a game for Karl. 25, 13, and 4. Just missing on the 5 there. But yeah, think about it. That's a Kevin Garnett type of game. Juancho Hernan-Gomez, everybody's basically ranting about him. Why is he in the starting lineup? Well, it's kind of like the late 90s Twins. Like, why is Rich Robertson still pitching? Like Sid Hartman talking to Tom Kelly back in the day, WCCO radio, shades of that. Sid Hartman and all that. Tom... Excuse me. Tom, why is Rich Robertson still in the pitching staff or like still in the starting rotation? And Tom Kelly says, well, who do you want me to put in there, Sid? And it's just because there was really nobody else. And that's kind of what it's like at the power forward position right now. Jake Layman, he is what he is. People talk about how Hernan Gomez doesn't offer anything. At least he rebounds a little bit, an occasional outside shot. Jake Layman doesn't even offer that as far as I'm concerned. I know locally a lot of Wolves fans are like, Jake Layman's this, Jake Layman's that. He's really good. He's valuable. I don't know. I don't know what they see in him. Because I know guys in Australia and New Zealand, like the legends of the show, like Tanae, Vince Tremonti, guys like that, Levi Brown, are like, Jake Layman, they don't see anything in him. And I don't either. I don't see any special skills, really. He can hit an outside shot on occasion. But... I don't know. That's like all anybody cares about now, shooting threes. At least we get Arby's roast beef sandwiches French dip sandwiches, and I enjoyed that very much when they do make their 12 threes and all that. It's greatly appreciated, but obviously can't have that every single day. It's great stuff, though. As I suddenly try not to cough to death. Sometimes I don't know what's going on. I don't have coronavirus, okay? So stop badgering me about it. I'm not going to wear a mask all by myself in the apartment while doing a podcast. That would be kind of silly. But sorry for that rant. Oh, come on. DeMar DeRozan, jeez, he just killed us the whole game. Gosh, it drove me absolutely crazy. Every time he thought the Wolves were moving in the right direction, DeMar DeRozan, DeMar DeRozan, DeMar DeRozan, DeMar DeRozan, DeMar DeRozan, and DeMar DeRozan and stuff. It was a very entertaining game. You have Patty Mills started hitting threes, 21 points off the bench. And again, that's what he is. He's a spark plug, but he's a really good spark plug. Sometimes. Rudy Gay, valuable, this and that. Devin Vassell, you got to see him for a couple seconds, but, a couple minutes anyway. About a quarter. Got a couple assists, a couple of rebounds, couldn't score. Keita Bates-Diop, he lives. Beware, he lives. But he didn't play. Jaden McDaniels, he lives, and he didn't play. Jordan McLaughlin didn't play. It seems like Jordan McLaughlin never gets in the game anymore, but, well, that's a lot of money tied in your point guard positions of D'Angelo and Ricky. It's a lot of money, about $45 million. About $45 million bucks. That's all. That's all. $45 million bucks tied into your 2-point guards. And neither one is this guy, the guy I don't like in Northern California. That one. Those Spurs jerseys. Can I comment about the Spurs jerseys with those colors? Just 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up. Yes. A minimum of 2 thumbs up. That was back when I liked the Spurs because those uniforms are awesome with those colors. Just like, how Utah, a lot of people might look at the Utah jerseys right now, like they're kind of weird, those sunset looking ones. I think they're awesome. And the Spurs, it's kind of like that sunset kind of, southwestern United States look, almost like an Arizona-y look. Oh, I love it so much. I love those colors. What is it, like an orange, blue, kind of pink? Oh, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Keep them coming, San Antonio. Ever since they went over to that gray, just the black, white, and gray, it's just like, wake me up when the game's over. I mean, they're boring. Boring jerseys, boring colors, boring. So then you move to the, you get the colors back at least on occasion, on some of those, third jerseys or whatever the heck they are. Gorgeous stuff. Keep them coming, guys. This game, again, very entertaining and all that. Sorry for babbling about something else. Malik Beasley got hot and all that. Murray got 14 rebounds. The Wolves just can't rebound. That's what drove me nuts, too, as well. Some guys rebound, some guys don't. It just didn't feel good most of the way. Oh, man. The Wolves actually out-rebounded the Spurs. It certainly didn't feel like it. It seems like we don't get the rebounds when we need them. Sure, we might get rebounds, but not, in the big moments. The Junkyard Dog Jr., didn't get a whole lot of minutes, didn't put a whole lot of numbers up. Just not the best game for him. Anthony Edwards, again, mental mistake near the end of the game. He's got some learning to do, this and that. He might as well have gone up for the dunk. It would have been better than just flinging the ball to no man's land. Because, oh, crap, we're down by 3. Might as well have taken the dunk and then had an intentional foul, that type of thing. Giving the foul, whatever, and then hope for the, hope for a miss or whatever. Or you could just go for the 3 again, that type of thing, as long as you get down the court. But I don't know. It's a game that just got away, and that's all you can really sum it up to. Really nice to see Carl back. He played super well, blocking 3 shots. Good energy out there. Malik Beasley was really hot, man. 7 of 11. He was hitting shots. This was one of his really, really good games. We need more of these. D'Angelo, again, just continues to shoot too much and miss too much. Nice chemistry with Karl Anthony Towns, kind of, when they actually are out there together, and it's nice to see. But generally speaking, D'Angelo Russell, I don't know, he just looks like the guy at the health club that just likes to jack up threes or just, hog the ball, and I don't know. It wasn't the best. And again, the mental error by Anthony Edwards wasn't the funnest moment of my life. Very entertaining game, though. Very entertaining game. Well played, but poor finish. That's just all there is to say about it. I don't come out of it cursing my head off in terms of I want my money back. No, you got your money's worth in this game. Generally speaking, you got your money's worth in that sense. It's just, damn it, can't we win? Can't we win once in a while? But we didn't. So that's all there is to say. I'm trying to move on to the next game, and now it's taken me somewhere I don't want to be. So that's always fun when that happens. And a brief side note as this is popping up is, the Wolves are, the Wolves are engaging PJ Tucker. We'll see what happens. Talks for PJ Tucker to join the Wolves. That'd be nice, a legitimate power forward, not a star, but a decent one. The Wolves win a game, though, 96-88. Some tired legs in San Antonio on the 10th. Again, back-to-back situation. 10th of January, of course, 2021. 96-88, no triple digits for either club. And, it kind of helps when... DeMar DeRozan is out for personal reasons for whatever, not with team NWT. Sounds like an airline. Northwest Transit? Okay, maybe it's a bus line or train or something. Yeah, that's funny. I know. I'm sorry. Marcus Aldridge had his usual decent game against the Wolves. Lonnie Walker the 4th. Jeez. When's it going to be Lonnie Walker the 7th? My goodness, that just keeps adding up. It's pretty crazy. That's 4 generations. That's kind of cool. Keep him going, Lonnie. I'm sure he is doing that. D'Angelo Russell, that's kind of cool. At least we won a game. Let's just put it that way. Solid game, Malik Beasley. D'Angelo Russell was better in this one. No Karl Anthony Towns. So no DeMar DeRozan, no Karl Anthony Towns, and the Wolves end up winning the game. So you can't just say, well, they didn't have DeMar DeRozan. Well, we didn't have Karl either. So whatever. You can't complain too much about that. Wolves win, and we made only 9 threes. Come on. I bet Arby's is like, ha. No, I'm kidding. Arby's wants us to eat those because they want us to keep coming back and buying more food with the sandwich, I'm sure. Josh Okogie is back. That's always a good thing. Jared Vanderbilt, really awesome game. Generally speaking, 8 rebounds. Didn't get any assists in the game, but just that solid presence. Anthony Edwards, scoreless. 0 for 8.
Oh, come on, man.
Uncle. I'm crying uncle instead of saying Aunt Edwards. Uncle. Bummer. But, again, I'm not making fun of him. It is what it is. He's an NBA rookie, and NBA rookies don't usually come out, scoring 30 points a game. Hopefully someday Anthony Edwards will be that guy, or 25 a game or something like that, but bummer. D'Angelo Russell, again, below 50%. Nothing new there. Malik Beasley right down the pipe. Half of his threes and half of his shots. Very, very solid performance, 24 points. Like it. Malik Beasley, not like Rashad McCants the past couple games. And that's good. Very nice to see. Juancho Hernan-Gomez, again, people continue to trash him, but at least he puts up okay numbers. I get it. He's not this star. Obviously, he's not a star. He's not really even a starter. He's like a rotational kind of player. He doesn't offer anything spectacular. His defense sucks. D'Angelo Russell's defense sucks. Malik Beasley's defense is decent. Sometimes he can get up and block a shot like he did against Memphis. That was a beauty. He's got some athleticism, obviously Beasley does. Naz Reid obviously has that as well, and he's actually rebounding the ball more now because he's not pretending to be like a 6'9" shooting guard, which is really annoying to watch sometimes. It's okay to make some threes and to take 3-point attempts because he's kind of like a Sam Perkins type. I mean, he really reminds me of Sam Perkins. And the release on his shot is just like Sam Perkins, where he doesn't really jump. He just kind of lets the ball go like he's shooting a free throw when he shoots threes. Naz Reid. That reminds me of Sam Perkins. But at least we won the game. D'Angelo Russell took charge, I guess. 4 of 7 from downtown is nice. Turned the ball over quite a bit, though. 4 turnovers. Assist-to-turnover ratio, 5-4. 5-4. Really? That's great. Ed Davis, okay, 6 and 6, couple of steals, stuff like that. It wasn't that great of a basketball game. It wasn't high-quality stuff. But, we just kind of grounded out. And guys hit shots. And that helped. I mean, at least we made the shots we took. Kind of. It wasn't that well of a shot game, but good, solid defense, which they always kind of joke about. The Wolves' defense is actually better when Karl Anthony Towns isn't playing. It's kind of funny. Oh, it's kind of harsh and it's kind of funny. And keep those Spurs jerseys coming. Oh, every time I look at those, I'm like, yes, please. Yes, please. I actually used to like the Spurs a little bit back in the mid-'90s. Dave Robinson, the early 90s especially. Mid-'90s and all that. David Robinson and that's cooler colors. And then they changed it by the Tim Duncan era. It was like, new era, here we go. And then, those jerseys are boring. It really, new building and everything too. Boring. Boring. Very boring. I know. I didn't like that. I like the old logo so much more. Culver got to start, and I don't know. I'm just not seeing it right now from Culver. He can't shoot again. And it's like, it was so encouraging how good he looked the first couple of games of the season. And now he's kind of vanishing off the face of the earth again. It's like, damn it. Come on, Culver, please. Like he'll put in some good games here and there, but the past week or so, it's just like it's vanishing off the face of the earth again. Breaks my heart. It really does. Rubio continuing to be that nice, calming presence off the bench. Obviously, he got a lot of steals in the game. That's pretty cool. But, and obviously, he plays slow, this and that, but at least, again, he makes others better, generally speaking. He doesn't keep the defense honest in any way because he doesn't have a lot of quickness. He's very slow, obviously, and he can't shoot from the outside most of the time. It's too bad. And the team isn't really helping him either. He was a better fit probably with Phoenix and Utah. With those current rosters. That's just an unfortunate fact as well. It's kind of a weird mix right now, but at least Rubio has his moments, I guess. And I don't know. And they talk about the fact that he had coronavirus during the offseason. That may have really hampered his game a bit, and that's why he's much slower out there. So I don't know, just kind of lack of energy, and it's unfortunate, but I guess that's how it goes sometimes. So now we'll move on to the Memphis game, the 13th, couple of days off, and we managed 107 points, 118-107 to a Memphis team without Ja Morant, and the Wolves did have Karl Anthony Towns, and he was spectacular again, and Malik Beasley has been playing so well. Wow. Malik Beasley's been playing so well. Jonas Valanciunas kicked our butts off and on in this game, particularly later on. I mean, the Wolves couldn't rebound, and they needed to. Well, Joey Awajan's Nito stat of the night. Sorry, Ernie. I'm going to borrow that for a second. Ernie Johnson, yes. Ernie's Nito stat of the night. How about Joey's sucky stat of the night? Because that's what this is. 80 points in the paint by the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, my God!
Why? 80 points in the paint. 80 points in the... 80. Yeah, I think you heard what I just said, but I'll say it. Yeah, 80 points in the paint. That's... Okay. I mean, woo! Toro. That's great. Grayson Allen, 20 points up the bench. Grayson Allen. Yeah, okay, I know everybody thinks he's the greatest ever. It's Grayson Allen, though. Seriously. Gorgie Zhang didn't play in the game. What the hell? Put him in. Come on now. Come on, coach. Put Gorgie in there. What's up with that? Ja Morant, inactive. Jaren Jackson, inactive. Oh, yeah. And we get beat when we give up 80 points in the paint. I mean, come on. What's going on here? What's going on? Rubio with his usual 6 assists off the bench. Culver just vanished off the face of the earth. Only 10 minutes and 2 points. It's heartbreaking. DeAnthony Melton had moment after moment. Valanciunas. It's like, Brandon Clark. God. Ugh. What kind of a weak-ass foul was it, too? Was it Naz Reid? Yeah. If you're going to go up and foul a guy, grab his arms or something. I mean, it's like, here, just take the basket. Oh, I'll nudge you on the side. I'll sideswipe you. And Brandon Clark, he didn't have to even, he was already squared up. Didn't even have to change direction to make the shot. It's just like, it was pathetic. I'm sorry, it was bad. And I'm not trying to hate, I'm not trying to bash. It was just pathetic. It was terrible. And I was friendly about the last game because it was fun. This game was fun for a moment, but then again, as things progressed, particularly in the fourth bleeping quarter, 38-17. I mean, what are you doing out there? Like, what are you doing there? 38-17. What are you doing? Just watching it made me nauseous. Like, seriously, we were doing so well, and then it was like nothing was going our way. And again, 80 points in the paint. I can't emphasize enough. That's crap. Oh God, layup line over and over, and yeah, it was just terrible. Oh man, I was melting down. You know, melting on the Grizzlies. Yeah, I was melting down watching that. And only 9 threes. No French dips either, you schmucks. No French dips for you. Nope. Now when we shoot like this, I mean, just look at this crap, 1 of 6 Anthony Edwards, 2 points after going scoreless the game before. What's going on? Come on, Anthony. I've heard of, I've heard about how you start off hot and then you start to hit a little bit of a rookie wall, but this is ridiculous. Yeesh. Come on, Anthony. Hopefully he gets this going. Hopefully that'll encourage him a little bit. At least he was a -3 compared to the other guys off the bench. Rubio -16, Vanderbilt -14, Nas Reed -16, and again that bullcrap foul. Jared Culver, the friendly ghost. Ed Davis doesn't play anymore again. It's just like Okogie starts and just, he provides some nice defense and everything, but he doesn't provide really a whole lot of anything else. Whenever I see Josh Okogie for a spot up 3, I'm like, he's going to miss. And he didn't even take a 3 in the game. In 27 minutes, he took 2 field goal attempts. That's how much confidence they have in his offensive game. I love his tenacious defense. He got 3 blocks in the game. It was nice. And that beautiful block by Malik Beasley, LeBron James almost like beautiful. Just got sky high. 28 points. Malik Beasley, awesome week. He didn't have the best field goal percentage in this game. But, consistency, he was so consistent all week. D'Angelo Russell, kind of the usual 21 shots and like 8 or 9 makes. And this time he made 10. Yes, at least he got double-digit field goals made. 2 of 8 from outside. I mean, when he makes threes, they're just the most gorgeous thing ever. But he misses too many for me. It's driving me nuts. I mean, he should be better with form like that. You'd think D'Angelo Russell would be a 45% three-point shooter, but he's not. He's like 38 or something. I don't know. He's 38.8. Okay, well, he's close to 40, but he's not there. Beasley's 0.1% lower, which is kind of funny. But overall field goal percentage, Beasley's about 3% higher, which is, in the NBA, 3% is a huge number when it comes to field goal percentage. Man, oh man. Anthony Edwards, 37.9 from the floor. 37.9 from the floor, 26.7 from downtown. Oh boy, hoping he can come around from that. And of course, that was the conversation coming into the draft. His shooting percentage is not good. Both, the overall one and the beyond the arc and all that. Man, what a bummer! Absolute bummer. Nas Reed's the only guy with 50% per se. Okogie's 50%, but most of his baskets are like close to close to the hoop. Like a dunk, an athletic play by the basket, stuff like that. Because any type of shot, really outside shot, it's almost non-existent, unfortunately. Rubio 23%, Okogie 12% from downtown for the season, folks. Not in the game, for the season. Culver, I thought he was. I thought he improved his free throws, and he had, but now he's right back where he started. 52%. 52% at the line. Oh, my God. You're not Shaquille O'Neal with a messed up shoulder. He had his shoulder messed up when he was a kid. That's why he shoots at such an awkward angle when he shoots free throws. You ever notice how he never lifts his right shoulder? Or lifted, past tense. He's like 50 years old now. God bless him. He never lifted his shoulder. Remember that awkward, straight line free throws he would take, those lasers? That's why. Culver, you don't have shoulder issues, at least I don't think he does. 52%. What happened, man? What happened? 52%. Taken 6th overall in the draft, and like a guy who's like a guard mostly. Guards are supposed to make free throws, aren't they? Aren't guards supposed to be good at free throws? A 7-foot guy, you might not count on to be the best free throw shooter on the team, but Culver? Come on, man. Oh, man. So I'm a little dismayed by that. Even Tommy Kramer, former Minnesota Viking, number 9, he said, what is wrong with the T-Wolves? I mean, they have a lot of talent. That's what he said. He actually tweeted that out the other day. It was after this game. Tommy Kramer from Texas, that guy, yeah. I like him, man. He's just, I like that guy, his tweeting. Yep, I saw that from my Purple Mafia Twitter. Because, obviously Timberwolves Explosion's not, probably might not follow Kramer. I'll follow him from the Purple Mafia. And rather, you think of him as a football guy. But, hey, even he's like, yeah, they have a lot of talent. What's going on? Can't disagree with 2-Minute Tommy there. We could use a little 2-Minute Tommy in the fourth quarter sometimes. Because this was a crappy-ass fourth quarter. 37-17. No, 38-17. Oh, my God. And Carl's had some great games against the Grizzlies historically. And again, this was another it was wonderful, generally speaking, efficient, 17 field goal attempts, 25 points. He made all 8 of his free throws. Jared Culver missed both of the 2 he was able to attempt in the game. Come on, Culver. I like Culver. I'm rooting for him. You think I'm rooting against Jared Culver? Because if Jarrett Culver, can pan out to what he was supposed to be as a 6th overall pick in the draft, he's a pretty good player. Good, strong defense, drive to the hoop, slashing, and he's even got he had a nice form. He's improved his form. The hitch is gone. The hitch that I was bitching about a year ago, coming into him coming into the season after the draft there in 2019, before all this COVID bull crap. It was I was bitching about it, and of course the hitch was still there, and the hitch is gone. But I don't know. The form is gone too. I don't know what happened. So I don't know. It's sad. Nice to see the big three, so to speak, getting over 20 points every game, which is it's really nice. Beasley, Russell, Towns, all that. Towns, Russell, Beasley. But I don't know. Edwards, obviously, there's so much more there, obviously. I don't know. It's just a very disheartening performance, particularly in the fourth quarter. You're hoping for more. You just are. And certain players that you know there's more. Culver and Edwards, it's just sad. Sad to see. Hopefully that's just a couple of bad games and things turn around and just flush this one out. As Kevin Fulness, after the Wild lose 7-1 to the Montreal Canadiens or something, some mediocre team. Oh, just flush this one out. Yeah, eventually there's nowhere to flush everything. You can only flush it out so many times. Okay, stop losing to crappy teams or teams without their star players. Just, no John Morant, folks. No John Morant. No Jaren Jackson. Karl Anthony Towns played in the game, and he played well. And we still got beat. Karl Anthony Towns blew up a bit afterwards, and I liked what he said. Obviously, kind of Jimmy Butler-like. It's obviously a good thing what he said after the game. This thanks to the Star Tribune. Chris Hine, who covers the Wolves now on the Star Tribune. Karl Anthony Towns says, you don't give these teams that kind of life, especially when they're missing two of their star players. We're going to get a loss. We're going to get a loss like this when we let go of rope. Don't do what our system does, and don't have the discipline or the integrity to keep going to the game plan that was obviously working for the first three quarters. It's very frustrating to say the least. I'm more disappointed with our discipline than our effort. We've got to do better than that in the fourth quarter. We can't have three quarters that were up by 10 and be cool. That's how this NBA works. But it's the NBA. No boys allowed. So we've got to be grown men and be ready for the next one. So, he was a bit animated as he was talking, too. There was more. I would have liked to have found the video, but at least I got the quotes. Thank you, Chris Hine, Star Tribune, for providing that, of course. Understood. It's nice to hear him be a little bit more vocal. That's a good sign. For a while there, he was just kind of I don't know. It seemed like last year he was kind of invisible. For this year, much more visible, and that's good. So, and he's played spectacular basketball. Of course, him being Karl Anthony Towns, much better defense as well. And coming into the draft back in 2015, it was all about the defense with Karl Anthony Towns more than the offense. It was all offense with Jahlil Okafor and kind of a combination of both with Karl Anthony Towns coming out of Kentucky. Who's going to take where the Wolves going to go with Okafor because Flip loved him, and a lot of us were praying that Flip would change his mind and go with Karl, and he did. And, well, that was an awesome decision. The very last, the second last first-round pick Flip would make. I guess it was his last, and then he made the trade for Tyus Jones. So, beautiful job changing your mind at the last minute, Flip. That was a good decision, and it's historically good for the Timberwolves. It's just too bad that the wins and losses still are evading us heartbreakingly. So, but hopefully things turn around. A lot of people calling for Ryan Saunders' head. We'll hear more about that in the fan interaction segment. I'll talk about that more then. I understand. I understand the frustration. I do. I'll have an opinion for that coming up. With that said, the Lone Wolf Award for this week, I got to go with Malik Beasley. What a nice week. What did he average? 25, 26 points a game this week. And he shot 50% or above 50% most of the week. So very strong performance, and he even played some solid defense at moments, this and that. Malik Beasley is the Lone Wolf Award winner for this week. The Johnny Flynn Memorial, I guess I'm going to go with Culver, and I'm not doing it because I want to bash him. I'm doing it because he's vanished off the face of the earth, and Anthony Edwards is an honorable mention. What happened, Anthony? So hopefully, again, you're going to get more out of your number one pick soon. I understand it's his first, month or so in the league. But, I don't know. I hope that you don't want to believe the Dominique Wilkinses of the world, other great players in the league start off this poorly. So hopefully Anthony can get things rolling again. It's there, and it's going to come. Maybe he's going through some tough times in the early going, and it does happen often to rookies. It does. So hopefully he can shake it off, get things rolling again. But for now, he's an honorable mention, and Culver takes the cake for the Johnny Flynn Memorial. He's completely vanished off the face of the earth. That said, we'll take a quick break, preview 3 games coming up, and get things rolling hopefully in the right direction, starting with Memphis tonight. 80 points in the paint. It just blows my mind. Like, and we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 2, preview segment, Memphis Grizzlies, Atlanta Hawks, and Orlando Magic. So we'll be in Target Center for Memphis, Atlanta Jaja with those gorgeous uniforms on Monday the 18th, and then we host the Orlando Magic and then host the Atlanta Hawks. So kind of a home-and-home situation. I guess the Hawks are next Friday, so that'll be previewed next Friday. That'll be a bit of a busier week, but the other thing is, again, that makes things easy, Golden State twice. So you just preview, or talk about the Warriors once, but preview the games, kind of generally speaking. Both of them are going to be on somewhat of a national cable situation. The Monday one will be on NBA TV and ESPN the Wednesday, but that's the wrong week. Sorry. Why am I going there? All these will be FSN, except for some reason, the Atlanta one's not showing FSN. I wonder what that means. To be decided? I don't know. Let's just talk about the Grizzlies again. Yeah, the Grizzlies again. That's great. Grizzlies again. Yeah, well, are we going to lose to the Grizzlies again? I say no. I say the Wolves do what they did to the Spurs. After giving up the game to the Spurs, I think the Wolves defeat the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. I expect a 30-plus point performance from Karl Anthony Towns. Multiple blocks. I think we have a split series because it's just 2 games for the series. All that kind of conversation. Grizzlies have been playing pretty well. I mean, they've won 3 in a row. Give them credit. They beat Brooklyn, who just acquired James Harden for a bunch of players and a lot. I mean, it was a big mix. Chris LeVert going to the Indiana Pacers. Good for them. Good trade there for Indiana. Chris LeVert, nice. It's kind of a big mix of players. Houston got, 4 first-round picks also, didn't they? And then, first-round swaps with the Brooklyn Nets, I think. So, fascinating stuff. So, basically, Houston would get the higher of the two. Like, say, if Houston had the 20th pick and Brooklyn had the 13th, well, guess what? Swap and 4 first-round swaps. Do you realize that? That's a lot. I would be like, no, that's okay. If I was Brooklyn, I would not give up the house like that for James Harden. But I guess it's this win now thing in Brooklyn. They're trying. Give them credit. They're trying, but I don't know. Brooklyn's been trying for a while, haven't they? They've been trying. They did that Paul Pierce, Garnett, all that stuff. And what did that amount to? They had Paul Pierce and Garnett on the team and Jason Terry, and it was great. But they didn't win anything. They lost in the first round, right? It's great. Memphis has won 3 games in a row, though. Sorry, and the Wolves have... how many wins do we have? Oh, we beat the Utah Jazz. Feels like 100 years ago, doesn't it? We won that last preseason game. We beat the Jazz on the 26th. You lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. So we've lost 8 out of the last 9. And hopefully that ends a bit here. We'll at least get a 500 record in the last 4. I do believe the Wolves beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, we just played them. Is Ja Morant going to suit up? I'm not sure. Left ankle injury? I'm saying no. That's my guess. Ja Morant will not play. Yeah, he's been out since the 29th, and they're still playing pretty good basketball, actually. It's a decent team. I would say Jonas Valanciunas is a very, very solid player. Ja Morant is a stud, like the 26 points, 6 assists, stuff like that. It's only his second year. See, that's an example of a rookie that came in the league and just started kicking ass right away. He's already better than D'Angelo Russell. I'd have rather given up... they're talking about the fleecing with Wiggins. We're going to talk about that in the third segment, how the Warriors fleeced us or whatever, and it's kind of crazy, a bit over the top. Wiggins sucks, and I don't like saying that, but we can say it. He is what he is. He's just, whatever. I think we've all said enough about that. D'Angelo Russell's inconsistent. He drives us crazy, but he's got some skill. Obviously, he's got a very beautiful shot when it goes in. But John Morant, right away better. It is what it is. Both of them were taken number 2 overall in the draft, by the way. So don't forget that. Both of them went number 2 overall in the draft. I'd rather have John Morant right now than the big boy in New Orleans, Zion Williamson. I'd rather have John Morant, honestly, and I'm sure Hank McCoy, I just call him Hank McCoy again. Wayne Hunt is very happy with John Morant at Memphis, even though it sucks that he's out with an ankle injury. Hopefully he can recover soon. Yeah, Memphis is a little bit better rebounding team than the Wolves, blah, blah, blah. Free throws. We're kind of even in almost every statistic. We're ahead in this, behind in that, and blah, blah, blah. We're ahead in points, believe it or not. But, of course, with Karl Anthony Towns on the roster, we should be. And no John Morant. That, to me, there's just no excuse. The Wolves come out and win. I think Karl's going to have his best game of the year so far. 33 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks, something like that. As long as somebody else shows up and D'Angelo doesn't gun us out 7 for 23 or something, some garbage like that, 1 of 9 from downtown. Anthony Edwards, get 15 points tonight. 15 points, Anthony. And look good doing it. Kick some butt out there, hit some big points, hit some big shots. Late in that third, early in the or just in the fourth, something big. But Karl ultimately is the hero, and the Wolves win over the Memphis Grizzlies. Final score 125-118 over the Memphis Grizzlies. We end that real quickly. It wasn't really a losing streak. We lost 1 in a row, but it took forever to get our first win out of the last 7 there with the Spurs. So that was nice. At the very least, hoping this thing doesn't flip backwards like it did last time. There we go. Atlanta Hawks. That's going to be fun. Love the jerseys. Love the team. Love what they're doing in Atlanta. The 18th. Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this. What are the Hawks? 5-5 on the year. So they're, unfortunately, their win-loss record isn't that sexy yet. Another great point guard, Trae Young, way up there. Number 2 in the draft again. D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo, come on. Stop being everybody's bitch. Please. Stop being everybody's bitch, D'Angelo. Trae Young's bitch. John Morant's bitch when it comes to being a number 2 pick, point guard, star point guard in the draft. And they're just all better. Come on. Come on, D'Angelo. Get mad. Get mad, D'Angelo, please. I'm not saying that with sarcasm or anything like that. Just get mad, please. Rajon Rondo knee injury. Bogdanovich sprained knee on the 9th. Knee injury for Rajon Rondo. Not sure if he's going to play. Obviously, the legendary clutch point guard of the Celtics. And, of course, again, got his second ring finally, 10 years later with the Los Angeles Lakers last year. Clint Capella was a game-time decision yesterday, so we'll see what happens with Monday. I'm guessing he'll be back. I'm guessing, God, he's one of my favorite players in the league. I want Clint Capella on the Timberwolves today, if I could. Today. Again, 2-game series. Home and home. Jan 18th, Minnesota, Jan 22nd for next week's show on the 22nd. Yep, so, Atlanta. Oh, yeah, they had a game postponed, so we'll see what happens with them. COVID protocol, all that nonsense, kind of like what was going on in the NHL for a minute there. They had to shut things down. And in the NBA, they shut things down because of protesting, again, back in the bubble. I don't want to get into that right now. It is what it is. Hawks had lost 3 in a row before beating Philadelphia, an impressive win over the Suckers. No, the Philadelphia 76ers, 112-94. Wow. Of course, yeah, people are always hurt everywhere, or somebody's sick or whatever. They lost to Charlotte twice, though, and they lost to the Knicks. And I know a nice start to the season for Tom Thibodeau of the New York Knicks. But still, they're not that good. The Knicks aren't that good. Charlotte, not that good either. Nice to see Charlotte winning some games. But Atlanta needs to beat Charlotte at least once. Come on, what are you doing? And again, Phoenix postponed. At Phoenix, they might have been a loss with the way Phoenix has been playing lately. I'm telling you, there's a reason why I picked Phoenix to make the playoffs. I'm going to be right about that. I don't need to brag about that. I think that was a pretty obvious. Once Chris Paul got there, they're a playoff team. That just kind of wraps it up. Chris Paul, let's hope he doesn't get hurt in the playoffs again or right before. Every bleeping time, right? What's going to happen in this game? I don't know. Wolves, 28th in three-point percentage still. We take 1,000,000 threes, though we miss 1,000,000 threes, too. Free throw percentage, Hawks are way better. 5th in the league. 2nd in the league in rebounding, Atlanta. That's a loss. I don't think we're going to beat Atlanta unless people are hurt, but I don't know. Clint Capella actually gets more rebounds than Karl Anthony Towns. He gets more blocks, too. Troy Young is an elite player, obviously, we know, but they have lots of other young, talented players on this roster that I just love. Just love them. John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish. Nice, solid players, obviously, on this Atlanta team. DeAndre Hunter, obviously, he's just getting going from last year, and he's really stepping it up in a big way. Really impressed with what Hunter's been doing, generally speaking. Cam Reddish, I just loved him in the draft last year. I think you guys remember that. If we were to stick at the pick we were at, I would have taken him so quick rather than trading up for trading up for Jared Culver. I'd rather have Cam Reddish than Jared Culver. I mean, he's not like he's shooting well either. His shooting percentage sucks too, but at least he makes his free throws. And I just think there's a little bit more there. I just do. Bogdanovich, we'll see what happens there. He's missed a game or so. Danilo Gallinari can't stay healthy. Rondo, only 2 games on the year as well. Major frustration there. But still, there's promising young talent on Atlanta. And, of course, Clint Capella, just having him on the roster makes them better as well, in my opinion. I think the Wolves, as long as this game doesn't get postponed for some reason with what's going on, I don't know. We historically haven't matched up well with this Atlanta team. Generally, Atlanta doesn't play well on the road historically. They just don't. And they're tough to beat. We never win in Atlanta. Fans are not. We just never win in Atlanta. I'm going to pick... Yeah, this is going to be a loss in Atlanta. I think Atlanta beats the Wolves. So it's going to be kind of like a 500 record, I guess, for a while here. We're going to kind of go back and forth a bit. We'll beat Memphis, lose to Atlanta. I'm expecting a bit of a lower scoring game. Atlanta's got some defense and some scoring, a bit of everything kind of when you put all that together. They're 9th in the league in scoring, but they haven't been scoring lately. But I guess 114 is 114. That's their average. Wolves are only averaging 109 on the season, 21st in the league. Of course, again, Karl missing a ton of games brought that way, way, way down. Wolves might actually be a better offensive team than Atlanta with Karl in on a consistent basis. Because our bench scoring has just vanished off the face of the earth. We just don't have a bench right now at times. We have lots of young talent, but they're not playing well. Culver's averaging like 2 points a game lately. Anthony Edwards, like 2 points a game all week last week. What happened to him? Bizarre. Yep, I'm about to watch the evaporation. Yep, there is the floater. Yep. Oh, and he actually missed that time. But yeah, that's what was happening. Floaters and layups for Memphis, time after time. That's like one of my favorite shots. Just kind of coming up, driving in through the free throw line and just putting up that floater. Oh, it's a beautiful shot. It's one of the shots I made easy, I guess you could say. It was easy for me. Maybe it is just an easy shot. Atlanta wins the game. I'll shut up now. I apologize. They're going to get like 117. Maybe they might get 130 the way our defense plays some games, but I'm just kidding. 117 to 110, something like that, but Atlanta will beat the Timberwolves. I don't know, man. I mean, you need Karl Anthony Towns to kind of ride some type of an anger streak here and lead this club into a better situation. And now they're talking about health and safety protocols for Rubio. Maybe he's got COVID. So maybe we might get to see McCollum out there. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So, yeah, I'm seeing that floating around right now. So Rubio actually might not play. We'll see. Health and safety protocols. That could mean COVID again. I thought he had it in the summer. So, okay, we'll see. Good thing you have Jared McLaughlin. I mean, that's why you signed him. He's good. He's a good point guard. But regardless, Rubio or not, the Wolves lose to Atlanta. But I do think we beat Memphis again, regardless, Rubio or not. I have a lot of faith in McCollum. And I'm not... I just called him McCollum, Jordan McLaughlin. A lot of faith in him. I'd love to have McCollum on the Wolves, but it's not happening. Orlando Magic, first place in the Southeast Division. Did you ever think you'd hear that again? Is Dwight on the Magic? Shaq? No. They still but they still got Vucevic. So they always have had a good center, haven't they? And he's averaging more points a game than Karl. It's kind of funny. Markelle Fultz is starting to kind of come around too. Former 76ers. This will be the one and done time we'll play the Orlando Magic, and they have a postponement with Boston. But that's mostly because of Boston. Boston Celtics postponed there. We'll see what happens. with the Magic. Boston's got like 1 trillion COVID cases, and I think the Wolves might have one now with Rubio again. We'll see. Magic have actually lost 3 in a row. So, gosh, they were 6-2 opening the season. They lost 3 in a row. Obviously, have tons and tons of talent. No, not tons. They have some talent. And wait, Fultz had the ACL again. Oh no. Oh, I forgot about that. I thought that was last season. Oh my God, or a couple of years ago. Yeah, he had it again. So my apologies with Markelle Fultz. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I remember hearing about him recently, like something was up. Oh, that sucks. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. My apologies. I should have known this, and I deeply apologize for that. Oh, that sucks, because he was playing well. That sucks. I'm sorry, Markelle. I am, sincerely. Terrence Ross, a guy who can explode for some big numbers on occasion. Didn't he have like a 50-point game last year? Absolutely went off. I think it was, I don't even want to get into it, but he's having a hell of a year. 40% from downtown, 16.5. Vucevic makes a ton of threes, doesn't block shots. He's more of an offensive guy. Hell of a lot better than Nikola Pekovic in that sense, but even though Pekovic would be valuable on the Wolves right now, I think if he was healthy. Aaron Gordon, the super athlete who likes to, let us know that he's really athletic and stuff. Fournier, who can get hot from downtown but hasn't been so far this year. Kind of a spark plug type of guy, obviously, who's got some talent. He's got a lot of talent, actually. The Wolves should beat this team. We always struggle with Orlando for some reason, but I don't know. I don't know whether to think the Wolves are a good home team or a bad home team. I don't know, because, it's just been an ongoing struggle with the Wolves, generally speaking, whether that home or away this year. But with Carl back, come on, let's win a couple games in a row, or at least 2 out of 3. Let's go for a 2-1 week. Let's go, Wolves. Let's beat the Orlando Magic, because obviously Markelle Fultz being out, they're kind of screwed. Who do they have at point guard now? They've lost everybody. Peyton's gone. He's with the Knicks, remember? I was to tease him up. He looked like a banana with that funny hairdo. Alfred Payton, if you don't do... I still remember the soundbite I did with Mr. Spacely. Alfred, if you don't do something about that hair, you're fired. I love that one. Because it was just a funny thought to imagine Mr. Spacely telling him that. Do something about that hair. I don't know where to go with this Orlando team. They're not good. Oh, I feel bad for Fultz. They won games, but then with Fultz out, I think I'd messed it all up. He's certainly not a number 1 pick in the draft. That's another example of a number 1 guy that just isn't at that level. Even though he was picking it up. What a damn shame. Wolves have to beat this Magic team. We have to. Come on, beat the Magic. Don't screw around with this team. Both about the same in the points. Orlando's a better rebounding team. No surprise there. They're actually worse in field goal percentage. Way better in free throw percentage. 4th in the league. And 3-point percentage way at the bottom with us. 28th, 29th. Wolves got to win this game. We're matched up in a lot of areas. It's just free throw percentage and rebounds. Yikes, which actually could mean a loss. But I think there's no excuse. If Carl's healthy, the Wolves win this game and the Wolves go 2-1. I expect, let's get some guard play going here. Malik Beasley. I want to see Anthony Edwards go out for 25 in this game. Somehow, I got a feeling Anthony Edwards is due for a real big performance. Because after last week, come on now. I sense he has major professional pride in his game. I feel that from Anthony Edwards, and I can sense a 25-point performance somewhere in here, Atlanta or Orlando, whatever it is. But I think the Wolves get this one done. Maybe it will be this game. Carl and Vucevic are kind of going to go back and forth, but I want something out of the guard play in this game, something spectacular. Maybe D'Angelo Russell goes out for 33 in this game. We'll just have to see. But I'm believing for that. Somebody goes off. Maybe D'Angelo Russell does go off for 33 and like 10 assists, 11 assists. He has one of those big games, and the Wolves win over the Orlando Magic. Lower scoring game. We'll go like 100-97. The Wolves defeat the Orlando Magic in Target Center. And the Wolves go 2-1 for the first time since the first week. So that'll be nice. You get the 2-1 week for the Wolves. Take advantage of the situation. You got your best player back. Pray to God no one else gets hurt. And Jordan McLaughlin is an ever-capable backup point guard in this league. He even did a good job as a starter last year. He was good. That's why he was kind of holding out for a little bit of a better contract, and they ended up saying, fine, I'll take your dinky little contract. Damn it, and I'll prove you wrong. That's pretty much what was happening with poor guy, with Jordan McLaughlin. But I think he's an NBA player. I don't think there's any doubt. With that said, we'll take a quick break, and we will get to fan interaction. Should be interesting. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 3, fan interaction segment. I want to apologize I didn't respond on Facebook as much as I should have. I apologize. I need to be more responsive on there. But at least, again, it gets on the show, so you can hear me on here, which is probably what you're hoping for at the end of the day, I'm guessing. At TWolvesEX, at TWolvesEX is the Twitter account. Thank you. Please give that a follow if you could. It's obviously a replacement for at Wolves Explosion because that one's been suspended permanently, I guess. I don't know. It's not coming back. They say it's temporary, but it never came back, so I don't know what to say or do about it at the end of the day. Levi Brown, Tanae Brown, and Vince Germano retweeting the most recent episode. 288, Junkyard Dog Jr., almost at episode 300 coming up. Will definitely take place this season. Tanae and Levi out of New Zealand. Thank you guys so much. And Vince Germano out of Melbourne, Australia. Sorry, a little distraction in the background driving me crazy. Oh, it's almost over. Yep. At TWolvesEX is the Twitter account. And Levi Brown, there we go. He says, some very good defense today, even though DeRozan was out. Yep, that was the Wolves' win, finally. With Okogie making a big difference, even in limited minutes. We can be a decent team at full strength. Yes, they can. Our schedule looks pretty easy for the upcoming games, so hopefully we can get a little closer to 500. Yes, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for, at least kind of a back-and-forth situation. We probably won't beat Atlanta twice, but we'll beat them once. We'll beat the Magic, we'll beat Memphis, stuff like that. That's what I'm hoping for with the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Hawks, Memphis, Orlando. I'm hoping for a couple wins here coming up. Memphis and Orlando at the very least. 2-1. Yep, good thoughts there. Keep them coming, Levi. Thank you very much for that tweet. And again, I apologize I didn't respond. I deeply apologize for that. Wayne Hunt. I just said Wayne Hunt. What is wrong with me? I'm looking right at it. It says Tanae Brown, plain as day, and I called him Wayne Hunt. Wrap your head around that. Johnny Cross. John Krasinski says, bad loss. 10-point lead evaporates. That's exactly the word, evaporates. Wow, Memphis is already ahead. See, I just turned my head away. 5 minutes. Memphis is ahead, and that's a 3, wasn't it? Yep, 5-point lead for this guy who's trying to look like Steph Curry, the hair and the beard and everything. What the hell? Okay. Edwards is in a big-time slump. God, yes. Culver's on ice. Yes, he is. He sounds just like me, Johnny Craw. John Krasinski. Offense ground to a halt. He sounds just like me about Culver and Edwards. I can't believe it. Rubio and Juancho really struggling. Maybe Rubio's sick. And Juancho, his numbers aren't bad, but yeah, he looks like crap, doesn't he? His numbers aren't bad for what he is, Juancho, but it's just numbers. Empty stats. Empty stats, like Marcus the forecaster would say. Tanae Brown, let's get to what he was saying, because he was actually retweeting Johnny Craw with the retweet quote deal. He says, hard to see Ryan Saunders making it through the season. That's the topic now. It's popping up. It's coming up. It's a topic that is rising to the top here, and I understand the thought. I do. I'm rooting for Ryan Saunders, but if he's not qualified to be a head coach right now, it is what it is. I don't think any of you guys are trashing him. You're just saying, there's not much leadership. There's that T-Wolves Arby's app. I love it. We have the threes. I love that promotion. One of the best promotions. It's one thing to get 100 points and then you get the chalupas years ago. Chalupas are great, but there's something. Man, I love French dip sandwiches. Oh my God, they're good. Free plug, Arby's. Free plug because of the beautiful promotion. It's not really free. The guys are, they're earning it basically. Marty Grimble, welcome on board. I believe. Yep, he did follow back. Is he from? Is he locally or? Nope. No, I don't think he's local. It says he's a fan of the Otago rugby. So maybe he's from New Zealand also. Welcome aboard, Marty Grimble. Welcome aboard. He says, hard to see it through next week. If I did such a bad job at work, I would get spoken to. Every game there is a blowout quarter, and it's a massive handicap coming to each game with a coach who isn't up to scratch. Yep. Yeah, I mean, every game there is. Every single game. You're right. That's exactly right, Marty. There is a blowout quarter. Like what the hell happened here? It's like, what the hell? Like, you end up getting beat by like 25 points in one quarter. It's bullcrap, and it's either the third or fourth every time. Occasionally it's the second, and then we just stay behind. Like, I think that was Portland last week. We got like walloped in the I think it was like 47-22 or some horse bleep like that, and then it just stayed the same. And we outscored them in the fourth quarter. And Anthony Edwards had some great plays, but it was garbage time. Continue. Tanae Brown says, I would love to see him succeed, that being Ryan Saunders, but it's too much too soon for him, I think. Sounds just exactly what I'm saying too, Tanae. Chauncey Billups or Bill Laimbeer would be my front runners. I think I'm going to go with Chauncey. Out of those two. I don't know. There's something about... I don't know. A big part of me would love to see what would happen with Bill Laimbeer as coach. But part of me fears... It's just, think about what happened when he was an assistant with Kurt Rambis. It was about as bad an era, and the Wolves have had a lot of bad eras, but that was probably the darkest era of Wolves basketball. Kurt Rambis as head coach. I mean, it was dark and bad. I mean, we couldn't even get 20 wins. You couldn't even win 20 games back then. I mean, that's bad. It was one thing, to make fun of the Wolves, like, wow, they won 30 games, finally won 30 games, and they're like, was it their fifth or sixth season? It took forever for the Wolves to get 30 wins. But, I mean, you couldn't even win 20 games in the Kurt Rambis era. It was historically, insanely bad. And Bill Laimbeer, I believe he was the top assistant out of that group, wasn't he? So that's kind of my fear. It's just like a bad vibe. I don't know. For some reason, he was spectacular as a WNBA coach. Maybe he could do it as the head man because, of course, again, Kurt Rambis was the head man and he was a jackass. He was stubborn. He was absolutely everything he wasn't as a player. When he was a player and he coached and encouraged players, he was great. Obviously, that's why. Why do you think Vince loves him so much? I'm shocked Kurt Rambis wasn't a successful head coach, actually. I still remember it back in the day thinking like, oh, Coach Kurt Rambis of the Lakers. Watch this work out. This is going to be really cool. And then it just didn't, And then he came, and then he figured, oh, yeah, it was just he barely even got a chance with LA, because Phil came in. But then he was a successful assistant. And then he comes here, and it was just, it was god-awful forever. I don't know what to say. I'm leaning Chauncey Billups, though. I'd love to see Chauncey Billups, long story longer, as head coach of the Timberwolves in that conversation. He has, I don't know. I'd like to see it. I'd love to see Ryan Saunders succeed. I don't know what it is. Is it like the guy I used to work with, a young guy, and how people just wouldn't listen to him, and you feel for guys like that because it's not his fault, It's not his fault that he's young. It just is what it is. So trying to continue here, again with endless distractions. Here he is. Marty Grimble says, same, but 3 seasons of bad losses and no sign of improvement. Culver hasn't developed. Not sure if I want him in charge of developing Edwards either, him being Ryan Saunders. Think it'll be Vanderpool and see what you've got. Literally couldn't do any worse. Oh, my. Yeah. Oh, Marty. Yep. I understand. I don't know. I don't know what's lacking from Ryan because I think a lot of people saw him as a potential head coach, and that was Flip's plan. Like he was going to coach for 4 years and then let Ryan and then give the reins over to Ryan Saunders and go back up to the front office. Kind of a scary situation though in a lot of ways because if Flip Saunders was the president of basketball, which would be wonderful, he was still alive and he was still the president of basketball, and his son's the head coach. And it's not working out, then what do? Like, son, you're fired? That would be kind of an awkward, tough situation there. And the odds of, like, Flip would never let him go if it wasn't working out. And that would be, that's the one thing. That's a dangerous situation. Oh, boy. So, hard to say. Marty Grimble did follow, and I really feel it. I was saying I'm definitely not feeling confident in it either. This is a disaster. Yeah, so that concludes the Twitter section. Thank you guys so much. This is going to be interesting. I'll get to the visitor posts first so I don't forget, so it gets done. Wayne Hunt, welcome back to Timberwolves Explosion Fan Interaction segment. LOL. Towns doesn't want to bang with Big Val. That's Valanciunas, yep, of the the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, that's Wayne's club, of course. This Courtside Podcast, Wayne Hunt, the Alpha Dog, Vince Germano, Lakers fan. Yep, Wayne Hunt out of Sydney, Australia, Memphis fan. Vince Germano, Melbourne, Australia, Lakers fan. Stu Benson, Lakers fan, Sydney, Australia. The Courtside Podcast, extremely highly recommended. I'll recommend it forever until they tell me stop recommending our show. It hurts our feelings or something. Until they say something like that, I'm going to keep recommending the show. As long as they don't get offended by me recommending their show every week. I'm sure they won't, but in this day and age, people get offended if you sneeze. So who knows? As long as you don't get offended, that's great. I'm going to keep plugging it. So do check it out. iTunes, Apple, iHeartRadio, all the above when it comes to that. Sorry for interrupting myself there when I was interrupting Wayne. Sorry about that, Wayne. He says, this is the one game where Cat should be dragging him out beyond the three-point line. I actually think this will be a close game, but Dylan Brooks might shoot us out of it. Can't wait to get our starters back. Good luck with today's game, Joey. And we needed luck, and we didn't really drag them out in the three-point line. They killed us in the paint. So, unfortunately, that's exactly what didn't happen, which could be, coaching related. Yeah. Vince Romano sparks this one up. He says Rosas needs to fire Saunders now. Another game the Wolves have lost that they should be winning. I know they won't even think about hiring my guy Lanebeer, but they need to find a coach that's won and that the players respect. I know it. Yep, and then there it is. Tanae Brown says Chauncey Billups. Tanae Brown, Chauncey Billups. Wayne Hunt says, although I commend my team for a gutsy win, I gotta agree with Vince on this one. I'm as shocked as you. We are without 3 starters. Yeah, 3. What if the Wolves didn't have Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and Malik Beasley or something like that? Would I be confident the Wolves are going to win a game? No. Think about it. Because the Wolves, Wayne Hunt, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. The Wolves totally fell apart in that fourth quarter. And like I said in a previous post, where is the adjustments? No way Towns can play Big V inside. That's just not his game. Yeah, exactly, man. This was the perfect game for Towns to shoot the long ball. Oops, and drag the defenders out for the wings to cause havoc. And my boy, Brandon Clark, was free to do his thing all game. Yes, he was. Coaching changes needed. Yeah, that was very good thoughts there, Wayne. That was very true. Interesting one here tonight. He says, if David Blatt was available, I'd love to see what he could do with the team. I know his time with the Cavs was heavily criticized, but he was coaching LeBron James, who just wanted his pocket pal, Tyronn Lue, as the one making the calls, or just himself. Yeah, LeBron wants to be coach and GM of every team he's ever played for. Mitch Lawrence on. Sorry to interrupt you today. I'm interrupting everybody. I'm sorry. Mitch Lawrence talked about today how basically like LeBron wanted Spoelstra fired early on. And then Pat Riley said, LeBron, we don't operate that way here. So that actually was good. So, they ended up winning multiple championships. Pat Riley actually, put his foot down and said, no, LeBron, we don't operate that way here. I'm still in charge of this team. You're not, bub. And I wish somebody could tell LeBron that sometimes. Don't give him so much power. That's why his ego is beyond Pluto right now. It's ridiculous. Still love him as a player, but I don't like the attitude. He thinks, LeBron James thinks he should probably be, president of the United States or president of the world at this point. New world order, new LeBron order. That's, I don't like that kind of attitude. That's what I don't like about LeBron James. But I'll end that right here before I go too far and Vince kills me. Okay, or someone else kills me. Lots of other people kill me. I'm sorry. So, yep, or just himself. That's where I got going there. Yeah, I knew I was going to be long on the fan interaction with this because it's a good week here. I don't know how players would react to him being David Blatt. I know he's more of he's a lot more demanding of players, but the buddy system that Saunders is running right now has led to some of the worst losses I've seen from watching this team. Wow. I thought we'd be competitive this season. But this team is flat out disrespecting the organization, the league, and just basketball in general. We absolutely suck. Oh, yeah. Today, Vince says, I like Blatt too, mate, but unfortunately his health won't allow him to coach. And today says, oh dear, I just saw he had MS. Okay, yep, multiple sclerosis. I thought he was doing something with the Knicks. Guess not. Well, that sucks. That sucks. I hate when that happens. Yeah, like when you have a good idea on something and there's nothing wrong with the idea, and then, oh crap, you realize there's something like that. It's like, just like me with Markel Fultz playing well with Orlando. And then ACL. It's like, oh. So very depressing there, to say the least. Okay, we continue from the last show. Just a couple likes, which is great. Thank you very much. John Krasinski, yep, Carl was upgraded for the Spurs game and he ended up playing. Levi says, finally some good news. Yep. Yeah. Finally some good news. Here it is. Yep. The Brooklyn Nets are starting to grow unhappy with Kyrie Irving, and their communication with him has been minimal, according to multiple reports. Wow. Yeah, this generated a ton of conversation. I'll try to keep it brief, if possible. Wayne Hunt says, although I can see the temptation of signing Durant, the red flags were already there with Irving. Sean Marks has been a great GM, but for Brooklyn, but his biggest regret will be not keeping D'Lo and that young core. D'Angelo Russell. They could have built on what they already had and progressed. And yeah, he'd be better for them than Irving right now. Stu Benson says, true, but they don't get KD without Irving, so I guess they had to clear their cap. KD's just one of those guys who I feel you give up almost anything and everything for. Yeah, Kevin Durant. Wayne says, okay, I agree. I totally understand the decision, but in my mind, but in my lone GM head, I keep what I had and build from that. Irving, for me, anyway, is not worth the risk and hasn't been since Boston. Injured, and then strangeness. Stu Benson says they played Kevin Durant $37 million to sit out last year. Can you imagine that? Yeah, that's a lot. With knowing he'd be out too. He gets $39 million this year, and they are barely $500 with Kyrie carrying on. KD gets $41 million next year when he will be demanding a trade, and as a player option at $42.7 million in year number 4. He'll be load managed the whole time. Don't you just... Not the biggest LeBron fan, but gee, he is a great return on investment. This is Gary Greco. For some reason I thought this was Stu talking. I'm sorry, Gary. Welcome to the page, by the way. I'm not sure. Please click like if you could, or join the page if you could. Gary, great to hear from you. Very interesting convo. And then Vince jumps on board and says, unbelievable. Everywhere he's gone, he's been a fruitcake. Wouldn't even entertain signing him or trading for him for a second. Damaged goods. Damn right. I was saying amen, 100% complete waste. Reminds me of certain people I work with. Yeah, because there's people I work with that, they get your hopes up. Like, they're so good, but they show up like 2 out of 5 days a week. It's unbelievable that that kind of stuff is allowed. It's ridiculous. But, I'll end that one real quick. Vince Germano says, are those jerseys... Also, those jerseys are poo. I wouldn't play in those either. The Brooklyn jerseys. Stu Benson, wrapping up this thread, says, it's honestly not too dissimilar to when you sign up to a local rec league. Yeah, I love this. Rec league team with your mates. You've committed to something, so you show the bleep up. Going AWOL for rounds at a time is not only letting your teammates down, it's flat out disrespectful to the efforts of everyone else who is there to win. That is as good as it gets. Awesome, Stu. That was awesome. And, that's pretty much how I feel about, again, the couple of the people at work that show up 2 to 5 days a week. Disrespectful. Absolutely disrespectful. You can't even make a schedule. And then they wonder, why am I not on the schedule? It's because you're never here, you asshole. That's what or you wanker, as you might say in Australia, or you flog. Yeah, they're not here. That's what I want to call them, a flog. Okay, here it is, the feature presentation. Dun-dun-dun! After over an hour of radio already, here's your feature presentation. Hour and almost, it's 9 minutes already. Damn. Wowzers, this should generate a reaction. NBCSports.com. The Warriors fleecing of Wolves and Wiggins trade clear every day. It's clear that the Warriors have fleeced the Timberwolves. Fred Mithen locally says we fleeced ourselves in the draft by not taking Wiseman and adding a 7th player to to our two rotation. Yeah. The two guards and all that. Wiseman is going to be good, isn't he? That's an interesting thought, and I put a sad face for that one. Fred, good, thank you for that. Yep, and I agree with Wayne here. Yawn article. Wiggins has been good at times this season for the Warriors, but it's the same old story with Andrew. Consistency. I had to laugh, though, at the early reports of Wiggins adding bulk this season. Must be on his big toe because I can't see it. Also, why is this a focus? They are getting way more. I mean, why is this a focus? They are getting way more production out of Wiggins than what they are getting out of Oubre. That's for sure. Yeah, isn't that unbelievable? Oh my God! It's like, yeah, you think about, and the bulk thing. I was like, wait a minute, I was losing my train of thought for a second when you're talking about the bulk. Yeah, almost every year. Oh, Andrew's put on a lot of muscle. I don't see any difference. I agree, Wayne. I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that one. I don't see any difference. Now. I didn't see any difference 3 years ago, and he's really put on muscle, and he's got a thicker beard too now. Like this artist girl that I used to mention on the show a lot. Thought she was a fun friend on the show and all that stuff, and she ended up being an ass, basically. She ended up becoming an ass. Yeah, she ended up being rude to everybody on the page. I think she got kicked off or something. Not this page, but a different one. Was just kind of an ass. He's got a much thicker beard. Like she'd draw it. Oh, look at how thick his beard is now. What are you talking about? Like, it's like, is the earth flat? Or, yeah, she sounds like one of those types. I don't know. Janae Brown wraps up this thread saying, before I screw up my speech here a little bit, Wiggins has been bad for the Warriors. His defense is better, but that's only because he's getting way more help than he did here. D'Lo's been bad, but this is an outrageous claim. I know it. I believe you. And Wiggins, in this article, too, there's audio video of Wiggins saying how it's just, he's got so much more backing there. It's a better organization. I forget how he says it.
Everyone's happy. We're getting after it, and I feel like we're only getting better. We have so much room to grow. So by the end of it, the end result, I feel like we're going to be great. And right now we don't have Clay. So with Clay,
he's not going to play ever again.
It's going to be a scary sight. So just got to keep it going.
What?
I really like this kid. He's, he has his head on the right shoulders, on his shoulders the right way. Organizations don't get kids at 19.
No, that's not him. They're talking about Wiseman. I thought he had some quotes in there. My apologies, but it was mostly like Wiggins was saying. Like the quote I was trying to look for was, at least it got on there, I guess. Was that? Sorry, guys. Was that? Basically, like, he's got more going for him there. This and that. And it's a better organization for him and this and that. But I don't know. I don't see any difference much for him, per se. Fine, they're winning a couple of games, and every time Curry hits a three, he's got to dance it up. That's great, dude. We're happy for you. Still haven't changed. And you're 32 years old, and you're still acting like you're 22. That's great. That's great, dude. Yes, he's got his 3 rings, and that's it. I hope that's it. It better be, and it will be. He's not going to win another championship. He's not. As long as LeBron keeps doing a Tom Brady and stays good and into his 40s, which could happen. It could happen the way, he knows what to do. He hustles when he needs to, not unnecessarily, and then injures yourself, that type of thing. He'll walk down to the other end of the court when he doesn't need to run because the play's dead. Why are you running? No reason. That's why LeBron is still playing like he's 29 at age 36 here. So with that said, I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for the show. Definitely, definitely a highly pro-Warriors type of article there. It is what it is. The one thing that I don't like about the trade, of course, is that unprotected pick up to 4. So 1 through 3. 1 through 3, it's unprotected. Excuse me. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, Andrew. Unprotected pick 1 through 3. The Wolves might be in that position. So, but hopefully we'll at least get the. Hopefully we get 1 through 3 this year, and then we can still take our high pick. If they get 4th, that would suck. So we'll see what happens with that. The draft pick is much more expensive than anything else, and I know Mosley was trying to get rid of Wiggins, but then Russell, he's still kind of he's lazy defensively and the goofy shots and this and that. That's the frustration. So I think I've rambled enough. My apologies. It's just that's where they may have beaten us is the draft pick. We'll see what happens. The future's not been written yet. What if they get somebody who's worse than Jared Culver? What if they get, Hasheem Thabit type of level, or they get what if they get the next Markelle Fultz? So who's to say? The NBA draft is a random crapshoot. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Anthony Edwards still goes on to stardom, or at least something resembling it coming up. With that said, I will finally wrap this up in an hour and 15 minutes. Still shorter than the season opener week, though. So with that said, take care. Please do give a positive rating on iTunes or Stitcher or any other application if they allow you to. Contact details, I got to get this out. Audio submission, if you'd like to do that, would be greatly appreciated. Simply use any free sound recorder or sound or voice recorder application on your smart device. Just open it, hit record, treat it like a phone call, hit stop, share/email it to paladinolive@yahoo.com. paladinolive@yahoo.com. Greatly appreciated, always there. I believe that's it. I said about the ratings, this and that. Like the Facebook page, follow the Twitter. All the information will be in the show description. Thank you again. God bless all of you, and we'll talk to you in a week.